Hey Wando, I'm Alex Pavosa.
And I'm Valerie Hewen.
And welcome to this week's episode of Tribe Talk.
This week we'll talk about gun control in the schools, how to get scholarships, and this week's Warrior Spotlight. The idea of having a separated Girl and Boy Scouts has been a continuous idea over the organization's entire existence.
Due to the changing of times, these ideals are now considered outdated, so the Boy Scouts of America have decided to change their century-old policy of no girls allowed.
Many changes have been made regarding who is allowed to join Boy Scout troops. Recently, the Boy Scouts of America decided to allow girls to join. While some support the idea of allowing both girls and boys to join, others do not. We took a look into the subject and how it will affect Boy Scout troops.
So the Girl Scout program, for one, they're completely separate. They're not the same organization at all. Girl Scouts has their own program that they've had for many, many years and built and organized around what they've been providing to the girls for many years. Historically, it's been a program that was originally built to focus on boys.
I don't think it matters if you're a Boy Scout or a Girl Scout and you're of the opposite gender. They were grounded in the same principles. The only difference is the way the vest fits, and that's it.
If you are actually a girl, then it is the Boy Scouts of America. I don't think that girls really fit in to the Boy Scouts.
So actually Boy Scouts did a lot of research and a lot of surveys on the topic, and they've been talking about this for several years now. And overwhelmingly, from both the surveys that they've done and the conversations they had at the national meeting with the councils, well over 80% of everyone they've talked to has been in favor of letting girls into the program.
I think it's just the name. I think that's why girls are weirded out by being in Boy Scouts and boys are weirded out by being in Girl Scouts, because it's the name of the Boy Scouts versus Girl Scouts that really gets them. We can do the same things, but we don't.
If they're going to allow Girl Scouts into the Boy Scouts, I think that they should be fully integrated, because it doesn't really make sense to have an entire group of girls who are Boy Scouts but call it Boy Scouts still. So I think if they're going to mix, make it fully mixed.
The goal is to reach as many as possible, and I think that's really how they landed where they did on this.
This has been Davina Patel reporting for Tribe Talk.
The Robotics Club here at Wando gives students the opportunity to showcase their skills in engineering, designing, and programming. Led by student interest and creativity, their projects are nothing short of fascinating.
So the Robotics Club provides a lot of different things for the students, and it really depends on what a student wants. So if a student wants to get more programming experience, then they have the opportunity to program a robot to do something very specific, like climb a rope. Or if a student wants to get more experience with engineering and CAD design, then we need a student to do that. We also have students that get to express their creativity by designing our t-shirts and designing our pit and designing how our robot's going to look. And we also have students doing electrical work. So it really depends on what the student wants and on what they can get out of it.
Apart from all the nerd stuff, all the engineering and the programming that a lot of people get scared of, there's really something in the club for anyone that wants to join.
It's very intimidating from far away, but once you get here, it's very much a family, a bunch of people I never would have met, because I have my little bubble, everyone doesn't want to. I get to meet people in all different areas. I know art kids, I know engineering kids, band kids, just people I wouldn't normally interact with.
One of the biggest things really gets pushed is teamwork and collaboration. This is not a one person is doing all the work. This is a team of people designing and building a robot.
So we get a controller and we tell the controller what to do when certain buttons are pressed. We program all the sensors that are on the robot so the robot knows where to go. All of the electrical stuff on the robot, we actually make the electrical stuff work and react to inputs.
It's so cool to work with robots. Most high schools don't have this opportunity, so it's really cool that Wando offers this.
This has been Sydney Register reporting for Tribe Talk.
Downtown Charleston has had a pattern of flooding throughout the years. This flooding has impacted many of the lives of residents living downtown. In response, the city has come with a sea-level strategic plan in hopes that they will fix the flooding.
The strategic sea level rise was put together in order to build up Charleston's resilience to flooding events. It includes raising up roads, increasing the size of drainage ditches, also installing pump systems to pump the water through those drainage systems, and then possibly even buying up property that's frequently flooded from homeowners.
My family and I live in right on the peninsula downtown in the historic area, and the lot we found, it happens, was on part of what was original land. The peninsula hasn't always looked the way it does now, and the water went in much farther than it does today. There was no battery originally.
Part of the sea level rise plan is to increase the height of our current streets to raise them up above that flooding event. So they're going to have to alter traffic patterns, which could affect traffic downtown.
Charleston has many flood zones. This is in part of the fact that much of Charleston's peninsula is reclaimed land that was filled in to build more on the peninsula. Many of the properties that were built on the original land do not face flooding as much as the properties on the newer, reclaimed land.
Downtown is known for flooding because about a third of downtown was actually built on an old marsh that actually drained and filled in a lot of marshland to build the city. And so now with the sea level rising, it's just reclaiming its original marshland.
The water, whenever it rains, will come up and form huge puddles and lakes, but not in the middle where we are. The water likes to come back to where it was.
The flooding downtown is an important issue because it's affecting a lot of businesses. In economics, it was estimated in about 40 years, it's expected that we're going to have 180 days of flooding just due to tides, not due to storms.
This has been Shane McDavid reporting for Tribe Talk.
Since the beginning of the school year, there have been 2 local occurrences regarding firearms in school. A Stall student and 2 North Charleston students both brought guns to school. With the sudden increase in students bringing weapons to school, we decided to learn more about Wando security. What's preventing a student from bringing a gun to school?
What's stopping anyone from walking to any neighborhood and doing it? You know, I mean, at some point you have to realize, like, you can't stop people from doing bad things.
We want to try to foster an atmosphere at Wando where students feel like they know what is allowed and what's not allowed. We're very fortunate. We have a lot of good kids here at Wando. Not saying that that can't happen. It can happen anywhere. But again, we have these safeguards put in place.
They just implemented this year the visitor center. We now check IDs from 8:45 to 3:15 because there's certain maybe students or parents or somebody who is not allowed on campus.
So if you thought about metal detectors and coming in to do that, so think about trying to get 4,000 students to come through a metal detector, we'd probably have to start like working kids in from 5 a.m. to even have the ability to maybe have somebody in class by 8:30.
I would hope that any students that have any concerns or fear, when they come into our school, anything that they can see that they would like to see changed or any ideas that they have to improve the safety and security of the school, certainly to bring it to my attention or to any faculty or staff member, any SRO that they see on campus. And again, to be very vigilant. They need to be aware of their surroundings and abide by the safeguards that we have in place here at Wando, and hopefully that'll continue to help keep Wando safe.
This has been Davina Patel reporting for Tribe Talk.
While college applications can be stressful, paying for college can weigh even heavier on a student's mind. For many seniors here at Wando looking for financial aid, scholarships may seem unattainable. However, earning a scholarship can be easier than you think. According to FAFSA, a scholarship is characterized as a financial aid that doesn't have to be repaid. Scholarships are usually awarded based on student need or merit. Funding for scholarships can come from a variety of sponsors, including both federal and state government, private and nonprofit groups, and even the colleges themselves. South Carolina offers 3 major merit-based scholarships awarded to in-state students. There's 2 ways you can earn the Palmetto Fellow Scholarship. Have a 1200 SAT score, a minimum of a 3.5 GPA, and be in the top 6% of your class. Or have a 1400 SAT score and earn a minimum of a 4.0 GPA. This scholarship awards around $7,000 depending on your college grade level. The Life Scholarship can be won by receiving an 1100 SAT score or earning a minimum of a 3.0 GPA. You can receive up to $4,700. The SC Hope Scholarship can be earned if you have a minimum of a 3.0 GPA and don't qualify for any of the other scholarships. SC Hope recipients could earn up to around $2,500 for 2 college terms. Are you eligible for any of these scholarships? If so, take advantage of them before it's too late. Your Wando Guidance Counselor can provide you with information and advice about these amazing opportunities. This has been Grace McKellar, reporting for Tribe Talk.
Former Wando student Mark Vito graduated from Wando 3 years ago, but his pride for the school is still at an all-time high. He attends every Wando game and visits the school 3 to 4 times a week. Mark takes pride in walking like a warrior, and his legacy at the school goes way farther than one would expect.
My career at Wando and what I achieved was mostly getting prom king and having to be in the papers, in the school paper, and pretty much being like the voice of Wando.
Mark likes to bring people together. You know, he's a high energy guy, and being special needs has in no way diminished his capacity for communication.
I am passionate of Wando because it brought me so much greatness, and that everybody should be loving Wando for how it is and as the greatest school in South Carolina.
You know, he's 3 years out of Wando now, and he still rides his bike over to the school, locks it up, gets on the bus with the team, goes to the games, comes back from the games, and cheers, and pushes the guys to do their best.
He would help when Coach McCarthy was here. He'd help him set up his drill work every day. He'd also help him break it down. And he was quite religious. He was very punctual, on time, and dependable every day.
How I see myself in an inspiration is to motivate my friends, to honor them and treat them with respect, and to hopefully that they can treat people with special needs with respect too.
He never was a player, but yet he wanted to dedicate every single day his energies, his efforts, just to help out and be around.
I would never leave the community of Wando, and I would enjoy staying here for the rest of my life.
This has been Alex Bavosa reporting for Tribe Talk. Charleston is a hotspot for its amazing scenery and various activities for locals and tourists from everywhere.
With so much to see and so much to do, some of the best places are easily unspoken or forgotten about. Salome Stork tells us what's to see in the 843.
A stroll by the fences or traditional English homes, there's no such thing as wasted time when in the village east of the Cooper River. Because of its lush scenery and historic architecture, Pitt Street has become a national hotspot. Another local spot is the worn-down Pitt Street Bridge. With the best view of Charleston, the Old Village is definitely a spot to check out for a summer sunset. This has been Salome Stork reporting for Tribe Talk.
I'm just the same old revolution. I'm just a figment of your imagination. So what's it gonna be?
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, into this year's very first edition of Wando Sports Talk. We're changing a lot of things up this year. We got a new format, a new logo, and a new host. I'm Connor Griffin, taking over for Riley Biller this year, and we are here in the Wando Gymnasium where our girls volleyball team took on the Patriots of Fort Dorchester this past Tuesday. And what better way to kick off this new era of sports talk than with some highlights.
Now, the Warriors were coming off a very impressive showing at the Tournament of Champions this past weekend at Dorman High School, and they definitely carried that momentum over into this one because this game got real ugly real fast. Starting off in the first set right here, Karen Majewski sets it up to the Syracuse commit, Keegan Andrews, and she spikes it home. The Warriors went up 17-2 to start off this game, and that run was ultimately highlighted by this play right here. Keegan Andrews again, this time right to the face. No mercy on behalf of Keegan Andrews. The Warriors win the first set 25-5. Second set action right here. Natalie Baum with the great dig. Bryn White here goes out of the frame to retrieve this ball, and it's Allie Claire John who hits it back over the net. Fort D, they try and get it back over, but they are met by Sarah Misroon, who sends it right back. Great overall hustle play by the Warriors. They won this second set 25-5, just like the first set, and this play essentially sealed the game. It's a little rally between both teams. They go back and forth, but it's John to Majewski, who sets it up to Misroon, and she spikes it home. An emphatic end to an emphatic win for the Warriors. They win 2-0 against the Patriots of Fort Dorchester. The football team did not have as much luck against the Patriots, unfortunately, as they lost to the third best team in the state this past Friday. They hope to get back in the win column, though, this Friday on the road at Stratford. Girls golf, on the other hand, had a very successful week. They placed first in their tri-match against James Island and Berkeley last Wednesday, and they placed in the top 5 at the Lady Patriot Invitational over the weekend. In other news, the girls and boys swim teams rolled the competition in their meet at West Ashley on Tuesday. Girls tennis beat West Ashley 6-0, and Patrick Spychowski, he placed second out of 412 runners at the Lake Murray Invitational to lead the boys cross-country team to a 6th place finish.
That's all we got for you on this week's edition of Sports Talk. For more Wando sports information, you can follow @Wando Athletics on Twitter and Instagram. For more college and pro sports information, you can check out my podcast on SoundCloud. And if you liked our intro, it's called Reminiscity by Wando's own Casey Malinook. Go check that out on iTunes. But that's all we got for you. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time, I'm Connor Griffin. Go Warriors.
Thanks for watching, Wando.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram and Snapchat @TribeTalkWHS. And stay tuned for this week's edition of Tribe Talk Presents. This has been Alex Bavosa
And Valerie Hewen, signing off.
Little one, do you know the destiny you'll reap? Did you know one day you'll fly? You'll find your fate, with your limbs elate and leap, never knowing why, but knowing you cannot die. We were all born with wings, but no one here knows they can use them. The wind pulls at them and tries to help us fly away, so we curse, bind our wings, and go about our day. The stubborn creatures built a world of comforting security. They build their nests and sing their songs and adorn their wings with beautiful plumage, but not a one of them thinks to look at the sky. They sing so loud, polluting the air with their cries, that I think they mean to conceal the call of the esoteric skies. The skies call only to me. They summon me alone. They're meant for me to claim, and I will make them my own. The clouds above like an angel, the fog below like a wraith. Dawn still hides the sun's kindly eye. Now's the time to leap. Now's the time for faith. I thought I knew I could fly.